never get the experience of actually asking the author their purpose for certain things in the book. And it's something that they'll probably remember the rest of their life.
I saw a need in this town for a preschool. There was not a public preschool, there was not a private preschool, there was none in the entire township. Children that go to preschool have a much greater chance of success in their future.
So we shred our negative thoughts and then we turn it into something positive by making new paper. We use it to write our affirmations down.
I am beautiful just the way I am.
It's something that gives them the opportunity to bring out a side of them that maybe they didn't know. You know, creativity, which I didn't think my son was interested in making stuff like this. He never was. And it's great for social skills, it's great for self-esteem. So there's a lot of different things that this program teaches.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Classroom Close-Up New Jersey. I'm your host, Marie Bliston. Consider your attitude. It's okay, we all have one. Some days you may need a reminder to adjust it a little to make it more positive. Try to find the bright side, smile, and then show it to the world. You might just feel better, and that can make the people around you feel better too. A positive attitude is contagious. We're here at North Main Elementary School, and later in this episode, we'll find out how these students are making positive energy, mindfulness, and peace an intrinsic part of the classroom. We'll talk with their teacher who organized the Peace Zone. There's so much to learn from other people if you know the best way to ask questions. So we begin this episode with students honing their skills and practicing the art of the interview.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Hi, I'm Eva.
Good morning, Eva.
The interview, it was challenging because we wanted to impress her. We wanted to think of good questions for her to answer. We wanted to make her think.
In Chapter 5, Ajwa reminds Kofi of his mother. Why did you decide to have female characters remind him of his family?
Well, that is a great question because I think he was a young boy, and I think that he still got a lot of nurturing from his mother and from his sisters. So I think the female characters would come to him.
Today, Sandy Rocco's fifth graders are interviewing award-winning author Joyce Hanson about her book, The Captive. Modeled after an actual slave narrative, The Captive tells the story of a 12-year-old Ashanti prince who was kidnapped from his home in West Africa and sold into slavery in colonial Massachusetts.
As I read books on my own, I'm always questioning, I wonder why the author did that, I wonder why the author did that. You never get the experience of actually asking the author their purpose for certain things in the book. And it's something that they'll probably remember the rest of their life. It's such a unique experience. Who's the one character that doesn't have a name? Gab.
The mother.
Rocco has used The Captive in her social studies unit on colonial history for several years, and what began with simple email questions to Hanson eventually grew into personal interviews using Skype. But that's not the only way the lesson has grown.
With the help of my other teacher friends, we've kind of just gone full out 21st century with technology and speaking and listening and critical thinking, and they've really reached the expectations that we've set for them.
How many days of the week do you do parkour?
So I'll normally do it for 5 days a week.
One of those expectations was that her students would be able to conduct a high-quality interview with Hanson.
Teaching fifth graders how to interview is a challenge because sometimes what they're interested in knowing aren't necessarily the most relevant or what we would consider the deepest types of questions. So just training them and giving them the opportunity to kind of go a little bit deeper. We started that by asking them to interview each other. And in our classroom discussions, we had the students really critique the questions as they were asking them to see if they felt that they were relevant. We used a criteria we call Googleable versus non-Googleable types of questions, which was really interesting because it really pushes the kids to try to go a little bit deeper.
I kind of like this one about the agriculture.
I like
and
this one.
It's like, if she's related
that
to
one's
that.
Good, yeah. Well, maybe we can make a follow-up with that. Are you related to them?
So we had this big sheet of paper called Googleable and non-Googleable questions. And we'd all get questions from certain chapters that we were assigned to. And ones that we thought that you could just pull up your phone and just simply Google it and find the answer, we'd put that under Googleable. And ones that you can't just pull out your phone and search for the answer, that's non-Googleable. So we tried making as many deep non-Googleable questions as we could, and then we'd pick which ones we thought were good to interview.
Why does Joseph help Kofi even though he gets beaten? If you couldn't be a teacher or a writer, what other occupation would you choose? But why did he make him a family slave, not a member? When I open a book, I like to read the dedication page. Who is Matt, and why did you dedicate this book to him?
Oh, I enjoyed that question. No one has ever asked me that, so that was really a great question. Matt was my husband.
If you think about interviewing, it's more of the art of conversation, being able to listen, being able to follow up.
You have to have eye contact. You have to have questions that you think will make the person that you're interviewing think about, not just be like yes or no, and you have to have a follow-up question.
Technology like Skype allows Rocco to bring Hanson into the classroom. Her students are also using technology to share what they learn with others.
The students are building a website, and they're developing questions and answers about the chapters of the book. Once we do that, then students globally can actually learn more about the book and experience what we're experiencing.
The unit also has an art component.
Kofi, who is the main character, is an Ashanti, and they have a certain sort of art that they use on their kente cloths, which is their robes that they use during their ceremonies. It's very symbolic, so they're going to learn a little bit about the symbols, what they mean, and then they're going to do prints.
For Rocco, studying The Captive is about both the story and her students' personal growth.
The biggest thing I want them to take away is not only the theme of the book, that human decency and we need a whole lot more of it in the world, but also that they can think deeper than they actually think they can, that they are actually deep thinkers, and that's what I want to create.
The project wrapped up in February during Black History Month, a fitting tribute and a reminder how literature can engage young learners. It's never too early to introduce children to the power of storytelling.
Snowflakes, snowflakes, dance around. Snowflakes, snowflakes, touch the ground. Snowflakes.
Welcome to the Snowflake Ball, one of the monthly family literacy programs held by Monty's Cubs Club.
Our program really promotes parents as the first teacher, and we try to build a homeschool connection and give them a good start and connection to the school at a very young age. Each month, our Cubs Club is slightly different from the month before. Some months, we have a speaker that comes and talks to the parents when the children go off to do a special art activity or a music activity with special area teachers. Other months, it's a celebration like it is today.
Monty's Cubs Club is new to Montague School. In fact, so is the entire preschool program.
I taught preschool many years ago when I was a director of a daycare center. And I saw a need in this town for a preschool. There was not a public preschool, there was not a private preschool, there was none in the entire township. 50% of our children were not going to preschool. They had to leave New Jersey to go to preschool. They had to go to New York State or Pennsylvania, and they were coming to kindergarten without having a preschool experience. Children that go to preschool have a much greater chance of success in their future, and I felt that the students of Montague needed that chance.
These children are getting that chance, thanks to Lori Jeske and funding from a Frederick L. Hip grant.
I wrote a grant to bring a family literacy program with a preschool to our building.
Our first is a traditional hokey pokey.
The Board of Education was very generous and allowed us to have regular education preschool, free tuition for our Montague residents. And now we have 2 sessions of preschools. We have a very successful program, mostly because of the HIP grant.
This is our 3rd Monty's Cubs Club event, and we have been very blessed to have the grant, first of all, to be able to do all these wonderful events with the parents and the children together.
The HIP grant provided us with materials that we can use to provide that homeschool connection. We were able to buy books for each student to give out at each Cubs Club to help build their home libraries. We were able to buy magazines for the parents so the children can actually see them reading at home. We were able to get backpacks with books that will go home with the students, with activities that they can do with their parents. If we did not have the HIP grant, our program would not be as encompassing and as outreaching as it currently is. The parents that participate seem to benefit from the growing connection to the school, a connection to the teachers and to the child as well. You see them light up when the children are participating in an activity. You see them say, well, you know, I'll go home and I'm going to try that. Or you see them come in with activities that they've done at home that are related to what we've done here. So you see them growing as the child's first teacher. The children, they're very excited to share their classroom with their parents. They're very excited to show what they've learned. And for them, it really made the transition to school much easier because their parents are now part of the school.
The Cubs Club does bring every parent closer together because it's bonding time.
I had a good time with her.
Today was special, just watching the parents with the children all dressed up and dancing, and watching the parents dance with their students, and watching the children light up and dance with each other, watching them partner up with their friend to show off the skills. We've been practicing those dances in class for a while, and to see them actually doing it and finding a friend to partner with was very enjoyable and warmed my heart.
This is my first time getting to come, and I'm really enjoying it with her.
There you are! Yay! Yay! I think the parents and the children both look forward to this day. I do know that on the calendar we count how many days to Cubs Club every morning, and that seems to be more important to them than any holiday that might be attached to it. It's the Cubs Club that matters.
This was fabulous, and it is just, I've seen a couple moms crying because it's just heartwarming. I mean, this is a great program. Fabulous teachers. They're like moms to the kids.
Days like today help the parents to become more involved in the school setting. It encourages them to make the connection between school and home and to move forward as their primary teacher. We would love to continue this club for many years into the future. It's been a success. The children love it. We love to do it for them. We see the parents just light up. We're hoping that we're going to be able to continue in a very similar manner for the next few years.
When we return, a journey through the Peace Zone. Stay with us.
My classroom is student-centered. There's a lot of noise in my classroom. It's not the traditional sit in the rows and don't talk. It's a lot of energy in my room. I think that it's important that kids interact with one another, a lot of collaborative learning. I've taught lessons that I stood on my head trying to show the best way to teach this, and his buddy said, hey, you know what, this is how you do it, and they picked it right up. And I believe that the collaboration with the children is important. Have to meet them where they are too in terms of their ability. You also have to, their interests are important. You have to talk a talk and walk a walk with them, and I think that that's how I've been effective. And that's, for me, it's about meeting the needs of the students.
Good morning, heroes. We have a positive energy commitment. I am optimistic. I believe something good is going to happen today. What say you?
I'm powerful.
All right.
I'm awesome. I'm brave. I'm brave. I'm amazing. I'm independent. I'm brilliant. I'm powerful.
Awesome.
Welcome to the Peace Zone at North Main Street Elementary School, where students are ready to start their day with the Peace Zone exercise.
All right, let's take 5 cleansing breaths. Reach up.
It's happening in the halls and classrooms where teachers have adapted the Peace Zone exercise to fit into their individual styles. The idea is to begin each day in a positive and stress-free environment that sets the tone for learning.
All that negative energy out of your body.
I want to tell you how incredible you are.
The Peace Zone was developed by Jayne Dempsy, who saw the need to share a culture where peace would become a fundamental part of the school.
And I appreciate you so much. Peace Zone has 3 components. First one is a commitment or a promise from everyone to do things only in a positive way. So that means the expression on our faces, words that we choose, the tones of our voices, all have to be in a positive way, not just for the children, particularly for the teachers.
Breathe in joy, breathe out sadness.
The second part is the peace zone exercise. Peace zone exercise is a mindfulness exercise. It's breathing, it's affirmations.
I am brilliant. I love doing my very best every single day and every single way.
And then visualization.
See yourself having an awesome day.
So the children visualize A's on their report cards. That's their short-term goals. They visualize their careers coming true, and that's their long-term goals. The third part of the program is rules that have to be strictly adhered to, and they're society rules. One person speaks at a time, raise your hand to speak, respect people at all times, and including yourself. These are society rules. Give the life skills that we need. When you catch the positive ones, you can keep the one you love the best. Go. Okay. You have to read them and decide. You guys are the best. Respect. Teachers assimilated into the classroom. Our classroom and Ms. Delahans was social studies.
Pick a card, and when you select one, decide whether you want to put it under the peaceful column or the non-peaceful column.
I put Whispering Secrets under not peaceful because the person that they're talking about does not hear and tell on the teacher.
So what would be the best thing to do to make it more peaceful?
To give them a compliment.
Okay, I like that.
Write
Miss McCline, it was math.
and write something that you would like to record in our Peace Zone basket. And then once you record your entry, come up and update the chart, and we'll see our graph.
Miss Farmer, it was a science.
Finish writing down negative feelings and negative thoughts. Fold your papers. Come to the back, bring your paper so we can shred them.
The shredded paper with negative thoughts goes into a blender.
And then we turn it into something positive by making new paper. We made paper, and these are dry papers, and they will come out like this. We use it to make our affirmations, to write our affirmations down.
I am beautiful just the way I am.
I am a great student.
I'm awesome.
This bulletin board was created by Mr. Selman and Miss Jacobs' class. And it is so gorgeous. It starts with the theme, peaceful thoughts lead to peaceful actions. And all of the children wrote, I have a dream, and what their dreams are, and making the peace zone just come alive.
For each child, with
it's just
individual dreams and a collective dream as well. Let's hope it extends out to the world and beyond.
That is my dream.
Oh, then.
You guys hear that?
Then
She can't read.
No.
Oh my God.
She can't read.
Well, did you at least try to help her?
No.
This is a Peace Zone classroom. What did the Peace Zone teach you?
Today, we had two groups that have been working on two skits to show how the Peace Zone incorporated into students having issues at the age group that the 5th grade students are in. And the Peace Zone is one of the tools that they could use to work their way to a peaceful conclusion to most of those issues.
Reflect as a group and go think about what you've done to Gabby.
The Peace Zone has helped reduce behavior issues because the students really use the Peace Zone to work through their problems.
It's okay. I forgive you guys.
And it has helped our students come to school ready to use their positive energy, and it's been great for our school.
Always there for me.
Soy Marianne Woods Murphy, la profesora del año de 2010 y estás viendo Classroom Close-Up.
Here, follow my pattern.
Sixth period is magical because it's our time for Beads and Me. The kids come back in from lunch and we look at our order board, we play music in the background, and we go to work together, and it's a time for them to just feel good and make something, and everybody's a success. It's not they're taking a test at the end. They're not studying for anything. It's just a time to be creative and a time to be inventive.
Beads and Me is the name of the business that Dr. Marcy Pryor's students have been running out of their classroom at Franklin Avenue Middle School for almost 10 years.
Back in 2007, I was looking for creative ways to teach my students in the art room, and I had stumbled upon beaded ID lanyards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be great. And I thought the art teacher would do it with the students, but then I saw all the learning that would be involved in it, and then decided to do it within the classroom.
Noreen, you're gonna come and work on the ABC lanyard, the FAM sub-lanyard back here.
Beads and Me obviously teaches reading, writing, following directions, money, financial literacy, profit, loss, revenue. We also learn democratic principles, giving back to charity chosen by the students. So all those skills that may not be meaningful for them in the textbook become meaningful.
This is where you put the person's name that they ordered, the style that they want.
The order has certain things. So you have to put in a hoop, what color, what's the name of the design, did the person pay, where do we mail it to? Sometimes we have the lanyard already made up and somebody goes, oh, I like that, I want that, but instead of using silver beads, can I have black beads? So the children have to problem solve, get the black beads, and then they need to get all the materials for their task. They then come back to their desk and work on the task, sometimes together and sometimes independently. At the end, they come to the finishing station where they have to measure it out, make sure it's 17 inches, make sure the pattern is the same on both sides, make sure the beads are of good quality. And at the very end, then they present it to me. And the only thing I put on is the magnetic closure at the end.
Beads and Me's first customers were the teachers and staff who had a real need for the product.
Everybody throughout the building has to wear their ID to get around and to be identifiable. And then our subs also have Beads and Me lanyards where they're labeled as FAM subs, so they're easily recognizable. So then it just took off from there. People in doctors' offices and people who work in hospitals or people who would just wear IDs for their jobs.
These are the lanyards. These are bookmarks. These are eyeglass chains. These are charm bracelets, and these are bracelets.
This really is a business, so we sell the product all over. We set up at the Franklin Lakes Town Fair, so the kids are able to sell to people we haven't ever met, and we sell to the kids within the building. Of course, the teachers as well within the district also buy, but mostly we sell to people we've never met.
How many designs have you created? 12 designs, just of his very own designs.
It's something that gives them an opportunity to bring out a side of them that maybe they didn't know. You know, creativity, which I didn't think my son was interested in making stuff like this. He never was. And it's great for social skills. It's great for his self-esteem. So there's a lot of different things that this program teaches.
For one former student named Teddy, Beads and Me became a calling.
My son was part of Dr. Pryor's Beads and Me program, and she inspired him artistically. We didn't realize he had this wonderful talent, and it's led to so many other things. Every Saturday he takes classes at FIT in New York City, jewelry making classes, and this summer he spent a week at the Savannah College of Art and Design.
Teddy's passion for jewelry making has even grown into an online business where he sells his artistic creations.
He found something that he is exceptionally good at, and he loves it.
On the day we visited, some of Pryor's first Beads and Me students had returned to share what the experience meant to them.
I'm a current college student at Bergen Community College, and Beads and Me was real key to just learn about fundamentals of setting out business goals. And this right here really got me to the next level, to whatever I was gonna do in the future.
Beads and Me taught me how to be more independent, just following my own rhythm and my own style. Even though we were all working on one thing, we were doing it individually, but as a whole.
Okay.
I'm gonna find the M for this.
Oh, the M?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's an M right here.
I definitely look back to this experience and I'm thankful for it because now I'm able to interact with people and I know how business works.
During 10 years of helping students and raising money for charity, Beads and Me has received plenty of awards and recognition. But for Pryor, the real profits are measured in student outcomes.
The best recognition is what I see each and every day from my students, the smiles on their faces, them working as a team, being proud of the product that they just developed and made on their own, coming up with their own creations. And when they come back and visit and I hear those amazing stories, those are the real awards for me.
Beads are a big business at Franklin Avenue Middle School, where young people discover their potential, where success means pride, teamwork, and self-esteem. You may have noticed the positive energy and smiles on the faces of students we met throughout our show. We can work together to give them opportunities, to show them how to open the doors to the future that they deserve. Remember, you can learn more at classroomcloseup.org. Next week, we'll bring you 4 more inspiring projects from our great public schools. Until then, for Classroom Close-Up New Jersey, I'm Marie Bliston. See you soon.
Classroom Close-Ups helped me as a teacher to not only motivate my students to come up with creative projects as they might be highlighted, but also my fellow educators.
Why did you decide to have female characters remind him of his family?
Well, that is a great question.